are back with Dipo. We've just recorded the VibeCheck episode, and now we're here with the Wheeler.
Hey.
What are we saying? We all good? We all good?
All good.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, so if you don't know about the Wheeler, Dipo, you've just been appointed the artistic director of the VibeCheck Theatre. The theatre can be in any configuration you want it to be. It's anywhere you want it to be based, as long as it's South London. And we have the task of programming your first show. So you can't choose yourself, unfortunately, but we want to know the creatives that you're going to put on to make this show, and then 2 musicians that are conveniently going to make the underscore or accompanying album to the show as well.
Okay.
So the first person you've got on your list is Kemp Powers.
Yes.
Tell us about Kemp.
Kemp Powers is a playwright who wrote one of the best plays I've ever seen ever, called One Night in Miami, which is a fictional night between Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown.
That's it.
NFL, and it's the aftermath of Muhammad Ali becoming the world champion of the world at 25, my age right now. Come on, see my life, you know. So it was the most amazing experience. I got to see it for £10. It shook me, man. It was such beautiful writing, such amazing storytelling that really captured the essence of each character, and obviously it was played fantastically by David Ajala, Sope, Arinze, and I can't remember the guy that played Malcolm X.
What's his name?
I remember his name. I feel bad now.
We'll get Morgan to chuck in there.
But yeah, it was amazing. So he would be the pen for my show.
Amazing. Cool. And the second person you've got on the list, prolific in the game, Amy Ball, CDG, casting director.
Yeah, man, she doesn't miss. She doesn't miss. I've met her once, and even though I didn't get the part, I was like, "You're probably right." You know, I was like, "You're probably right." She doesn't miss. That is simply why. You know, I think she's got a great eye for working with the creative team to secure the best. Not even the best, but the correct talent. Because it's not necessarily always like the best. It's the person who's just the right fit for that production. I think that's what she's exceptionally good at doing. So, you know,
from seeing when I worked at the core and just seeing around her, like, she's just on job. The lists are long and they're very, very locked down, but she's on job, always on 100% of the time.
Big ups to the court, man.
Yeah,
big ups to the court.
Kai, do you want to do the next one?
Yeah. The next one we have is, I hope I pronounced this right, Desirability Productions.
Yes. She produced The Mountaintop. The production team behind that, Desirability, yes. Very, very, again, they're a production team that don't miss. I know if they're there, they're in great hands. And she's a lovely person as well. Such a very great soul, and very kind of warm and like welcoming, even if if you're a friend of somebody. Like, I met her a couple of times, and yeah, she's amazing, and like their production company is big, that production company, and what they've worked on. Yeah. So again, don't miss.
Yeah,
don't miss.
Another big theatre as well.
Yeah.
Ray Smith.
Yeah. Next up on this, we've got Ray Smith.
Ray Smith, Barbershop Chronicles, set designer. I love Barbershop Chronicles. I love the essence of it. And look, man, if you can't just all be actors, you know, because I find good actors, but I need the right people behind the scenes. And the reason why is because when I watch Barbershop Chronicles, I just felt so at home. And I want my audiences to feel like that as well, no matter what the production is. I feel like to be able to if you can capture, similar with I'm not sure who designed Nine Night, but similar with that, I felt so at home watching it,
100%.
and that's a skill. Like, it's such a skill. So, listen, I want that for my inaugural theatre production, VibeCheck that we run in South London. So,
come on,
yeah.
And the last one we got is the Young Vic.
Yeah, man. in association with the Young Vic, because they don't miss either. Like everything I've seen.
This is proper artistic director. Man's doing the co-production.
Co-production, man. Listen, I can't just be out here on a whim. You know what I mean? I have the Young Vic with me. Everything that has either been in partnership with the Young Vic or at the Young Vic, I have loved. I love the essence of the Young Vic. Everything about it. I feel like it caters for people like me, and that people like me feel seen there. So yeah, I just think what better producing house to co-produce, this show. Or better,
You love to see it. This is a very accurate team you've got.
This is a hard team. Especially it's a hard team. Hard team. I want to get into the musical artists that you picked, because you picked two fantastic people, and I know Aruna's itching to talk about the first one. Itching. The first one. Go and say it. Go and say it, Aruna.
Scribs Riley, fam. Explain
the east side.
Oh my word!
So look, don't leave me! Don't leave me! No.
Hey, so a little bit of backstory. We had to get onto Aruna for this tune, actually, for that East Side song.
Oh yeah.
He didn't send it to man, and I discovered it from my own channels.
What you don't see behind the scenes is Aruna is the biggest thief of music, but he's not a Robin Hood. He's keeping it in his castle.
Stingy.
He's that smile. Yeah. He's that smile. He's got all that gold in the castle, and he ain't
laying on it. He's laying on it.
He's laying on it.
Because I can't lie. Do you know them ones where you just want the track for yourself for a little bit? Because you know he's gonna. No. You know you listen to a track. No way.
No.
Selfish.
No, it's when you listen to a track, but you know it's gonna blow. So the moment you send it to one, it's no longer like you just want it to.
Oh, you're one of those people.
For a little bit. For a little bit. I was gonna say.
You don't want your cut, do you?
No.
because he could be one of those people that like he'll send you a track and then you listen to it and he's like, I put you onto that. You know what I mean? Like those people. He's not one of those. It's just like he'll just keep it to himself and giggle. You know what I mean?
Giggle.
A giggle. Squid Riley is the East Side is probably one of the most well composed, well sung, well produced, balanced songs I've heard for such a long time. Where everything just kind of flows into one, and I'm just like, wow, this is actually like phonetic, like near close to perfection in terms of the composition of the song. It's so I can't he doesn't miss. He hasn't missed with that song.
It's cinematic. It's cinematic. Do you know what I mean? That song is cinematic.
And you've seen the music video for it as well.
Yeah.
I said,
I'm telling you. Even that beat switch as well.
Yeah.
I threw my phone.
But even his melody switch, when he's like, I wasn't around when she made stride him, like even that shit, you're just like, what? If I try and write that, I'll be like, excuse my French. So yeah, it's very impressive that to be able to make a song like that.
Have you heard Impress Me?
I haven't. No, I've been on East Side too long. I've been deep diving into his background. And obviously, the end when it's like, yo, his friends like, yo, you want a Grammy, fam? 2 Grammys, 2 Grammys. You're like, oh shit, this guy is serious. So we need to, yeah.
So we've got Gustavo Santalola. Hope I'm saying his surname right. Working with Scribs Riley on this album. Talk to us about Gustavo.
It's gonna be a wild album. I don't know how they're gonna work together, but I'll force them to because I'm a dictator. I'll plug them. But no, Gustavo he's a well renowned composer. But he's composed one of my favorite games ever, Last of Us. Last of Us 2 coming out in 4 days, baby. So if you never hear from me ever again, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. But the interesting thing about Gustavo and his work on that game was that in an interview he said, because of the nature of the world, it's set in a pandemic, with kind of zombies and stuff like that. Because the nature of the world was uncertain, he wanted to use instruments that he wasn't familiar with. So all the instruments you hear in the game, he doesn't really know how to play. So it's a very interesting kind of angle to, I think, for professionally, because could you imagine if you're like an album and you go to a producer and I want to do this thing, and they're like, "What are you gonna do?" Oh, yeah, I think we should go all cello based. And you're like, "Why?" I don't know, man. I've never played a cello, but you know, I just think, why not? You know what I mean? You'd be like, what's going on?
You're right.
And don't mess with the cello, bro. Like, you can't just be out here experimenting with my work. But you know, it was a gamble that paid off, and I love those kind of gambles. And it was, haunting.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Listen,
it kind of makes sense though. There's a lot of like one note singular stuff.
Yeah, and off
like,
notes
just builds tension so well though.
I love little like kind of specific things like that. Like the one I absolutely adore is on the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse film. Miles Morales is animated at 24 frames per second, whereas Peter Parker's Spider-Man is at 48 because Miles Morales isn't as much as a hero yet. But then towards the end of the film, then he's on 48 frames per second. It's something that no one will ever notice, but it's that little
it's the detail.
attention to detail. It's like, I rate it.
But it does make all the difference because it just does. It just does, man. I love that kind of stuff.
So to run through them again, we've got Kent Powers, Amy Ball, Desara B Productions, Ray Smith, the Young Vic as a co-producer with a accompanying album by Scribs Riley and Gustavo Santalola. What is the name of this production you are putting together?
Ooh.
On the spot question.
That is. What's the name of this production?
Or working title. Hey. We'll give it a working title. Slightly less pressure.
That's even more pressure, bro. It's just out here.
I feel bad now.
You're right. You're stressed out. Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
No.
Don't leave me. What? I'm just looking at stuff in the room to see if I can.
I fully thought that's what you were doing.
Blood. Anyone got a suggestion? I don't know, man.
One thing you said throughout all of it, it don't miss.
Don't miss.
It don't miss. Would be an interesting title. You could do a lot with that. It's also a very hard name for an album now.
They never miss. How about this? They never miss.
That's it.
Ooh.
They never miss.
Well, prompt. Amazing.
And what's that about? Who knows, mate? You know what I mean?
Let's go to find out. Kemp's going to write something. It will be with it.
That's what Kemp's doing.
It is what it is.
Don't worry.
All right. Thank you so much, Dipo, for programming your first show and coming on our show as well. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thank you. Pleasure's all mine, man.
Love to speak to you. Peace out, everyone.
Stay safe.